Oil prices are getting attention. Are energy-related funds poised for a comeback? Jason Kephart joined Morningstar 3 years ago as a fund analyst. The former journalist often reports on sector trends in the closed-end fund industry. Jason, what's the story with MLPs?
Closed-end funds that invest in master limited partnerships, or MLPs, have been on a wild ride the last couple of years. Starting in the middle of 2014, when we saw oil prices start to decline, through February of 2016, these funds lost an average of half their net asset value. That's because they are tied somewhat to the price of commodities. And when there's a lot of uncertainty in the price of commodities, these securities are impacted. They're typically involved in the transportation and storage of commodities, so there's not a direct one-to-one correlation, but when there's a lot of uncertainty about prices, that makes companies cut back on things like transportation and how much they need to have in storage, so that has really impacted them. What we've seen since mid-February is oil prices rebound and stabilize, and that leads to a lot more certainty, so businesses can plan around things like how much oil they need to transport or what they need to have kind of on the side in storage. So this should lead to a stabilization of distributions from these securities, which should factor up to the overall closed-end fund level.
Well, everyone seems to be focused on oil prices. How important ultimately are oil prices with respect to MLP prices?
When it comes to MLPs, they shouldn't be super impacted by small moves in oil prices. But when you get the real big moves, like going from $100 to $20 to $50, that is going to have an impact because it has a lot to do with the predictability of oil prices. The more they trade in a tight range, the better it is for MLP producers because they have more clarity around future cash flows.
What kind of closed-end fund investor may be interested in a closed-end fund featuring MLPs?
For investors that are looking for more income from the equity portion of their portfolio, MLP closed-end funds could be an option. They're very attractive from an income standpoint, but they also carry equity-like risk, so investors need to be aware of that and have the risk tolerance to kind of go along with that.